We are going to shift gears back down to the county level, and we have the magistrate candidates for the 6th District. Candidate number 1 is Mr. Greg Sims. Candidate number 2 is Mr. Gary Shotsky. Candidate number 1 will have 2 minutes to give an opening statement, beginning now.
My name is Greg Sims. I'm running for 6th District Magistrate. I feel I'm very well qualified for the job of Magistrate with my mix of business and government experience. I am a St. Dominic's, Washington County High School and University of Kentucky graduate. From 1984 to 86, I was City Administrator of Springfield, overseeing water line and sewer expansions, the Main Street renovation project, industrial development, and planning and zoning. I have written or assisted with over 20 different government grants, including bridges, park improvements, sewer and water lines, Main Street renovation, recycling, and roads. I have also built or operated 6 successful businesses in Springfield, including Links, Mordecai's, Parkview IGA, Parkview BP, Quick Clean Car Wash, and Parmart. I have served as your 6th District Magistrate for over 25 years and am proud to call Washington County my own. I hope to continue to serve you in the future, and thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Sims. Mr. Shotsky has candidate number 2. You will now have 2 minutes to make an opening statement.
Not yet. Okay. Now. Gary Shotsky, okay, we good to go now? Okay. Gary Shotsky, I'm running for the 6th District Magistrate. I'm married to Virginia White. Jenny, everybody knows her by, daughter of Freddie and Betty White. We moved here to Springfield 4 years ago, and we live out off Lincoln Park Road. I retired from Kraft Foods after 26 years. I was a district sales manager for 16 of those years, managing the Minneapolis, Minnesota district, which had 80 salespeople, and I covered 5 states. Why am I running for the 6th District Magistrate? Well, let me answer that by giving you some history as to where I've been, what I've done before we're living here. We moved to Rogers, Arkansas 13 years, and while there I started my own janitorial supply company. I owned and operated this for 10 years before selling it. I was very active in the Fellowship Bible Church, where I led a Bible study group for 6 years. Living in Chicago, suburb of Bloomfield, I was president of the Homeowners Association there for 3 years. While living in Plymouth, Minnesota, I helped start a homeowners association, wrote the bylaws and the covenants, and also headed up a group that started a playground. While living in Franklin, Wisconsin, here again I helped in developing a homeowners association for the subdivision. So why am I seeking this district magistrate? Since moving to Springfield, Ginny and I have always wanted to be involved in this wonderful growing community. And being retired, I have the time to give my full attention to it. This past April, I headed up a group that put on the first Sustainable Green Festival here in Springfield. We had 27 vendors, and it was very successful. Since the first of the year, we in Springfield and Washington County have been notified of a school tax, a library tax, and the fiscal court magistrates voted an increase in personal and property taxes. Then on April 14th, 5 of the 6 magistrates voted themselves a 22.4% salary increase. And did we start these taxes to pay salaries? I would very much like to be your magistrate and make some changes. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shotsky. As candidate number 2, you will get to answer question number 1. Question for you. What is the one thing about the current office that you would like to improve? And if you find anything in there that's working well, what would you like to maintain?
Well, since the first of the year, I've been attending many of the fiscal court meetings, and I think the thing that's working well is I like when the EMS and the road department and all those departments give their what's going on that month, and it's very interesting, and I think that's working very well. There's some discussions and votes when they're made any changes, so I think that part of it's working very well. What I'd like to see changed is the 9:30 in the morning meetings on a Monday, second Monday, and the fourth Friday of each month. I have been the only one that I know of attending those meetings. So I think these meetings should be held at a time when you, the general public, would at least have the opportunity to come and attend those meetings and see what the decisions that are going on.
Thank you. Now I have question number 2 for you. Question, should money for county road maintenance be distributed? Oh, Shusky. All right, hold on. You'll be next. You'll be next. The rules have been changed.
Good, Greg.
Mr. Sims, I will ask you a first question. There seems to be a disconnect between the city, county, Chamber of Commerce, SWEDA, and Springfield Tourism. How would you promote a more unified approach to working more cohesively?
I think it would be a good idea if the city and the county had some joint meetings together, possibly 2 or 3 times a year, to promote the cooperation better. I know sometimes it's easier for us if we all met together where we could discuss things and talk about things that are going on in both phases of the city and the county. As far as...
Wait a minute.
What?
Okay. As far as the Chamber, SWEDA, and Springfield Tourism, I know we receive an annual report from them now pretty much once a year. I think it would be better if possibly we had a quarterly report from them. That way we could know more about what's going on with each one of these associations, and we could get to know each one a little bit better. Like I said, right now the only time we see each other pretty much is once a year when they bring their budget to us and show us their budget. If they had a representative possibly come to the meetings quarterly, and if we had this joint meeting with the city, and I think that way we could discuss things a little bit better.
For Greg Sims, question 2. Zoning laws currently cover only the city limits. How would you suggest that we properly control growth on and along the 150 bypass area?
Right now, the county has no zoning. We do have subdivision regulations, which do control if we have subdivisions. Myself, personally, I would be in favor of zoning in the county, but we have tried to put zoning in before. I know there was a lot of negativity toward it, so I would like to see it possibly put on the ballot somehow. I don't know if we could do that or not, and let people vote for it to see how they really feel. Like I said, I'm going to do what the people tell me to do. The last time we had a meeting on zoning, there was about 100 to 1 against as to for. I think it would be a good thing to have it, but I think if people voted in private, possibly we would get a little better idea of how people feel about it.
Thank you, Mr. Sims. Now for Mr. Shotsky. Question. Should money for county road maintenance be distributed equally among magisterial districts or directed toward roads in greatest need, and how should this be determined?
Well, it's being an election year, you can see that our streets have just recently been paved, and a lot of them have. So I believe it should be a fund where each magistrate should know what's going on in their district and bring it to the fiscal court at the meetings and present it. And that need that's the worst should be taken care of first of all and going on from there. I don't think splitting it equally between each district is the way to work. I think it should be one general fund and the magistrates make a presentation for that money.
Thank you. Thank you all. I think we have all of our questions answered.